My wife messaged, "I have amazing news. I'm pregnant." I'd been deployed for 7 months straight. Not one. I was 7 months into my deployment when Sarah's text came through at 3 a.m. "I have the best news. I'm pregnant," she wrote, followed by a baby emoji and a heart. My world didn't just shift, it shattered into a million pieces the moment I read it. I stared at that screen in the pre-dawn darkness of my bunk, the rhythmic snoring of Ethan across from me the only sound, and my entire reality just stalled. See, I'd been deployed for 7 straight months, not a single visit home, no weekend passes, nothing. We were deep in the middle of nowhere, doing the kind of work that doesn't let you take breaks. But that wasn't even the real problem. The real problem was I'd been medically infertile since I was 19. Completely, documentably zero chance infertile. I had the paperwork, the test results, doctor's notes from 3 different specialists. And Sarah knew all of this. I told her on our second date. I remember that conversation like it was yesterday. We were at this little Italian place downtown, and I figured if things were getting serious, she needed to know up front. I showed her the medical documents right there at the table. She said she understood. Said kids weren't a deal breaker. Said we could always adopt. She seemed so understanding, so mature. That was 3 years ago. We got married 18 months later. And now, here I was, staring at a text message that made absolutely no sense unless I considered the one explanation I absolutely didn't want to. I didn't reply right away. I sat there in the dark, and something weird happened. I didn't cry. I didn't punch anything. I just felt this cold, clear certainty settling over me, like a heavy blanket. My hands were perfectly steady when I opened our phone plan account on my laptop. I had access to everything, all our accounts, because I was the one paying the bills from overseas. The phone records loaded slowly on the base Wi-Fi, and there it was. Months and months of calls to one number. Late-night calls, calls that lasted hours, calls at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., times when she thought I'd be asleep or busy. The pattern was so obvious it almost looked deliberate. I scrolled back further. It started about 4 months into my deployment. Right around the time our video calls got shorter. Right around the time she stopped answering when I called at our usual times. Right around the time she started saying she was tired or busy or her phone was dying. I took screenshots of everything. Then I opened our bank account. We had a joint account my military pay went into, and she had a card for household expenses. I went through every transaction from the past 7 months. There were charges I didn't recognize. A hotel 2 hours from where we lived. Expensive dinners at places we'd never been to together. A weekend trip to some resort. Hundreds of dollars at stores that made no sense. She'd been spending my deployment money like it was nothing. Money I was earning sleeping on a cot in 110-degree heat, eating food that tasted like cardboard. Money that was supposed to be for our future, for the house we talked about buying, for the life we were supposed to build together. I went back through our text messages from the past few months. Every time I asked about her day, there were gaps. Every time I asked who she was hanging out with, the answers were vague, but one name kept appearing, Marcus. Marcus, and I grabbed "Don't miss the twist bottom left, full story."